Y'all don't laugh at my face. So, I have my medicine on because I'm fixing to go to sleep. So, and it's just like it's this drying lotion. So, what's up, you guys? My name's Nicole. Welcome back to my channel, Real Talk Recovery, where we talk about recovery from addiction and I share my life with you. So, I don't know if you guys know, but I just saw this lady in Ohio got sentenced to 51 years to life for trading her daughter, her 11-year-old daughter, for sex to her heroin dealer. Can you imagine that poor little girl being 11 years old and her mom, 11 years old, giving her to her heroin dealer for him to have his way with her so she could get high? It's like, okay, and this is coming from a drug addict. She was so lazy. Why didn't she just have sex with the guy? You know, she was that lazy. She couldn't even get out and make the money on her own. It's just like, what a freaking piece of... Y'all, I know addiction is, hey girl, I'm so glad you caught me live. I read all your comments. Y'all don't laugh at me. I got my medicine on. That dries my zits up. I got like a crater right here, crater right here, crater right here, crater right here. Hey, Garden, how's everything going? Yes, it's like, well, you know what I think probably happened? This is how I think it probably went down, okay? I bet the lady was at home, or she was going to pick up from her dealer, right? And when she got in there, she probably had her daughter with her. And he was probably, the dude was probably like, well, he was either probably like, you know, we can make a trade. Or, yeah, you need to turn on post notifications, girl. You know, he was probably like, I don't know if he brought it up or she brought it up, but I know that I've been in situations where when I met with my drug dealers where they would say, you know, well, you don't have to pay me, but I would never, it wouldn't even cross my mind to do that, you guys. But, and I was strung out, okay? I was strung out. I was a needle junkie. I would do anything to myself to get drugs. You know, I would trade myself for drugs, anything. But to trade your child, your baby girl, to a full-grown man to rape her, that's sick. She deserves every bit of them 51 years because she failed her daughter. You know, it is to me, I can't even comprehend it, you guys. I cannot even comprehend it. Like, and I have been strung out, right? I've been strung out. I mean, strung out, you guys, like to the point where my dealer, all he had was like $5 hydrocodones. And I was like, I'll do anything for them, you know? Hey, Joseph. Hey, Joe, what's up, buddy? Like, and I was that desperate, you know? But I just can't understand it. You know what I mean? It just makes me so sad, you guys. Like, but this is what's happening all over the world. And, you know, maybe we don't know that girl's story. And, you know, I'm praying for her. She's going to spend the rest of her life in prison. She's 30 years old. And so, I mean, she's never going to see the light of day again. You know, and all to get high on. Just all to get high. Can you imagine? I look like I have a mustache, don't I? From this stuff. Okay, anyway. When I saw that, I could never do that. Like, my son means so much to me. You know what I mean? Like, he's like the reason why I got sober. You know what I mean? He's the reason why I put one foot in front of the other every day. He's the reason why I get on here and make videos, because I get to talk to you guys. Like, I just can't even imagine. I can't even imagine that, you guys. Like, it just makes me so sad. So did you guys see me when I went to the dog park today? Me, Neil, and Nate went to the dog park, and we took our puppy dogs out, and we were like with all these other dogs. It was so much fun. Oh, Chrissy, I sent you my phone number, girl. I know. Isn't it breaks literally, like, seriously, you guys? I'm telling you, like, I've been so low down in my addiction, and I would never do that. Like I said, I would trade myself before I would ever think about doing that to a child, especially my own child. You know, it just makes me so sad. It really, really does. Damn. You know, our children, you guys, we're here to protect them. You know, when I used to get high, even when after I had my son and I was still getting high, like, I guess I couldn't understand, like, what the big deal was. You know, I was like, well, I'm still taking care of my kid. You know what I mean? That's how I kind of thought. But now that I'm sober, and I've been sober for a little bit, and I can understand, like, I was doing the bare minimum of what I had to do to take care of my son. Because when I was high, I couldn't really be present there for my child, you know, and I was just strung out, you know. So now I understand, like, you cannot use drugs and alcohol and be a good mother. You might think, oh, well, I'm not using in front of my kids, or, you know, oh, well, with my kids, when I use, I take my kids over to their Mimi's house or their grandma's house, right? But that's the thing, you guys. You're taking your kids over to somebody else's house for them to watch. So therefore, you are not being present in your child's life. And if you are addicted to drugs like I was, then you couldn't wait to get those kids out of your house so you can use, if you were even doing that much. And when I was using, you know, I was in such a bad place that I would drive around with my child, you know, in the vehicle while I went to go cop dope. And, you know, I made very bad choices because of drugs and alcohol. But that's the thing though. All those choices were bad choices. And, you know, I can't look at my choices, like, of driving my son around while I was messed up and using, and compare it to this lady who, it's all bad choices. It's all choices that I was being selfish, and I was being self-centered, and I was only thinking of myself, you know. So I would like to say, you know, I would never do that, but I did some really heinous ass shit when I was pregnant with my son, and I look back on that, and I know that I'm forgiven for that, and I know that God is, you know, has seen the changes that I'm making, and that I'm becoming a better person. But, like, I don't even know. I just don't even know. It's like addiction takes over everything. And it just rules you, and you can't do anything but do what the drugs tell you to do, you know? And so I know that poor woman was under the influence of drugs and alcohol and heroin, but still, she was of sound mind when she traded her daughter. You know, and that's what I'm keep on seeing in my mind, is that you were sober when you gave your daughter over to this man. So you could think straight. You know what I'm saying? You weren't under the influence already. So that's the thing. Like, I really think that a lot of people, you guys, they just don't need to have kids, you know? I will forever, ever, 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 I will always have that feeling like I am just so grateful that I got a second chance, you guys, because I love my son so much. It wouldn't matter. I would never trade any child for human trafficking, you know? Because I don't know if you guys have ever been there, but whenever I was in my active addiction, you know, I wasn't a prostitute, but I did some prostitution. You know, I did some things that I'm not proud of because I needed to make money to get drugs, you know, or I needed to get free drugs. So it's just not a good place to be, and it doesn't feel good, you know. So imagine having the person that you trust in your life, your mom, you know, pushing you to do that. So, I'm not proud of that stuff I did. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really am not. But I gotta be honest and let y'all know that I would get down to those low points, you know? I would get down to these points where I ran out of all my money. I lost my job. My man would get me no free dope. You know, I had exhausted all my fronts. My drug dealer wasn't having it. I would call him and say, come on, just front me $20. And he wasn't having it. So I would have to go out and hustle, you know, and do things I didn't want to do. Let's talk about another thing that's happening in current events right now. You know, Cardi B's getting a lot of shit because she admitted to drugging dudes and robbing them when she was younger, like in her teenage years when she was doing when she was stripping. You guys, when you're in that stripper life, you got dudes that are taking advantage. You got dudes who are literally treating you like a piece of fucking meat. So you know what? I have to tell you all something. When I was in my active addiction, me and my friend Angela, her boyfriend wouldn't go to sleep. He had been up for like days and he was acting all crazy, right? So I crushed up a Seroquel and I put it in his drink and we knocked that fool's ass out and then we stole the car and left. So I've been there. Like, I know when Cardi B was probably, you know, stripping and doing all the stuff she was doing, she was probably snorting cocaine, drinking, and she was probably like, you know what? Fuck these dudes. And she probably crushed up a little Seroquel or a little Xanax and knocked their asses out, took their money and left. I've heard of a lot of girls that do that while they're escorting, you know? And I think that Cardi just was sharing her story like I share my stories with you guys. Because now look at her. She's not living that life no more. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's the past. And she's rose up out of that. She's not living down in that life anymore. It is. Yes, Chrissy. It is all part of the drug game. And if you're deep in it, like I was deep in it, then you know what? That shit happens. Every now and then you got to knock a dude out. I cannot tell you how many guys that I have gone through their pockets while they was asleep. Because I was scandalous like that, you guys. We did what we had to do. Especially when you're like, you know, especially when you're like with all these dudes that just treat you like you're like secondhand citizen because you're on dope. You know what I'm saying? Or treat you like you are like you're a freaking object. And it's like, I don't think men can even understand what women go through when they're in active addiction. Like, y'all don't even know. It's like guys expect us. If we're doing dope with them, they expect us to suck their dicks and fuck them. It's like, seriously, you guys? That's how it is. When you're getting high with a guy and it's like on his supply, then he expects you to do work for him. And it's like, no. What happens when I have the dope? You know, what happens when I have my own stash? You don't see me expecting you to eat the kitty cat, but that's how dudes are. They expect you to give them sex and all these things. And it's like, dude, I thought we was just getting high together. I'm just trying to get high. I cannot tell you guys, like towards the end of my drug addiction, like I would do your dope and run out the front door. Because I wasn't about that. I was like done doing all that shit. You know, when I was younger, I thought I had to do that stuff to get what I wanted. It was like I hadn't learned that I could be a scandalous old bitch and leave. You know what I mean? So, and I wasn't afraid for you to run out the door and chase me. I would run down to the police station. I didn't give a damn towards the end of my addiction. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of dudes, if you don't give it to them, they'll rape your ass. They'll rape you. And it's like, and they don't even think nothing about it. And you say something, yeah, and they'll beat your ass. Throw you out the fucking car. I've totally been there, you guys. Like, I used to hang out with some rough-ass dudes that shot dope. And they wouldn't think anything to try to run a train on me and then throw me out the door. You know? I'm telling y'all, I'm just so glad I'm not in that shit no more, because I have nightmares of stuff like that still sometimes. Like, I'll have flashbacks, you know, PTSD and stuff. But I'm telling you, girls, if you're still in that active addiction and you're trying to get out, hit me up. I'll help you, girl. You ain't got to live like that anymore. And listen, it's pimple medicine. It's drying out my pimples. I've got a couple like little patches and stuff. I have a patch in my eyebrows. I smeared it when I was laying down. Yeah, it's just hard, you guys. Like, I'm glad that we don't have to live like that anymore, though. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of the things, like, I hope you guys know over here on my channel, like, I'm always going to keep it real with you guys. I'm going to share with you guys what it was like back then. I'm sorry to the guys that watch my channel. I know sometimes I share a lot of stuff that might make y'all feel uncomfortable, but you guys know the deal. I mean, if you're a real addict like I was, and you've been down low like we have, then you understand. You know what the tea is. Y'all been there. You've seen girls do it. I'm sure you've had girls beg you for dope before. It's like, it sucks. But anyway, I just wanted to come on here, because when I saw that, I was going through YouTube and I was just like, and it popped up on my recommended, you know, mom gets 51 years for trafficking daughter for heroin. And I was just like, oh my gosh. You know, but that's the thing. Here's what we say to that. But for the grace of God, there go I. That could be me any day. You know, that could have been me. That could have been you. That could have been any of us, you know. Instead of me being, I can't judge, you know what I mean? Like, I've been there. I've been real down low. You know, I didn't do those things, but I've been down low before. So, thank you. But for the grace of God, there go I. You're eating beans. Well, I hope they taste good. Have you guys ever heard that saying before? Or I think might be, but for the grace of God, there go I. I've heard that when I was in the rooms of AA and NA. You know, and basically what it means is, you know, because of God's grace, we're not there, you know. I know, Bill. I know. It is. I know. And I haven't ever crossed that line, but I'm just saying, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to find it in my heart to have empathy for that person, and she's never going to see the light of day, y'all. Never. So, I mean, she is definitely paying the piper, and that's what she deserves, you know, because that poor little girl is never going to be the same. Like, she's probably going to have this hard time for the rest of her life, you know. And that's a thing I think about some of you girls who I know you guys have experienced traumas like that when you were younger, and now you ended up becoming drug addicts. And I can relate to that too, because when I was younger, I experienced, you know, sexual abuse. And so when I got older, I didn't really know how to, I guess, deal with it. Maybe I think when I look back and I think about, you know, okay, I started using drugs because I was like trying to find my place, right? I was trying to find a place I needed to fit in. But then I also started using drugs because they made me feel invisible. They took those feelings away. They took that depression away. They took the sadness away. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? And like, it would almost be like I was invisible, like I was untouchable. And it was a good feeling at first. Like, it was a really good feeling until it stopped being a good feeling, and it was like stopped working. Do you know what I mean? Because for me, drugs worked for a really long time. And then once I crossed over this imaginary line, and then Roxy's and meth. Okay, thanks, Matt. Then Roxy's and meth, what they started to do was they were working. Like, they made me feel good. They made me skinny. I loved partying. I was having a great time. And then I crossed over this line where it was like the chemistry in my brain changed, you guys. And meth started making me go crazy. Do you know what I mean? Like, I would start losing my shit, you know? And I would start hallucinating and going psychotic. And it happened over, like, it took years for me to get to that point, you know? Ha ha funny. It took years for me to get to the point where it was like the drugs stopped working, because they worked for a really long time, you know, but then they started having negative side effects. And so, man, I'm just telling you guys what, like, I'm just grateful that I'm not there no more. I'm grateful that we can all talk about our pasts and learn from each other. You know what I mean? I was thinking about that today. Oh gosh. Anthony, did you really? Are you serious? I don't think you can. The only way you could get STDs from a heroin needle would be like HFV, but no, if it was already out in the air, wouldn't it die? I think what happens to all addicts, the drugs are our answer to everything until they are the cause of the problems. Yes, Chrissy, yes, absolutely. Well, Anthony, I'm sorry that happened, hun. I'm glad that you're better now, though. I have never been stuck by somebody else's syringe. Thank God. But I'll tell you this, you guys. I have heard of people like in your bigger cities where you guys probably live, where there's just needles laying around everywhere, and that makes me so, I would be so paranoid. They don't have, it's not like that here where I live. I live in Arkansas, and I'm serious, you guys. I think the other day at Walgreens, I seen an orange cap, you know, that comes off the bottom of a syringe, the bigger side, but I've never seen rigs laying around out in the road. But I hear, like, from some of my viewers that live in, like, Chicago and California, that they're just laying around, you know what I mean, on the ground in Dallas when I'm working in the hood. Yeah, it's just, I'm just really grateful that it's not that bad here, but I'm praying that, you know, it gets better. I didn't think they could, Chrissy. I was about to say, because when that shit hits the air, it's dead. The thing about it is, it has to literally be like still, you know what I'm saying? Anthony, are you trolling, dude? Because I'm fixing it for real. You guys, I have hepatitis C, okay? And the only way that you can get hepatitis C is from using needles after someone else. Because the hepatitis has to be live, okay? On the needle. So, or having sex. It's blood to blood contact. So, I mean, that's how that goes. Yeah. It might be funny, haha, you think it's funny or whatever, to say, oh yeah, but it's not funny. Like, if you got stuck by a needle, dude, I'm sorry, I really do feel for you, but, like, come on. You got a bunch of drug addicts over here. We know what's going on. And I'm trying to be cool and not block people from my streams, you guys, because I want everybody to be able to have, like, support and come here and, like, be able to talk and stuff. But, like, if you're just trolling, dude, come on. Come on. Hey, Brian, how you doing, hun? So, yeah. Oh, it broke my heart to see that happen with that little girl that's 11 years old. And that's not... So, we're going to move on from that conversation, because I know that's, like, really depressing. Hey, Michelle. It just goes to show you guys how strong the disease of addiction is, and how, you know, a lot of us, when we get into the throes and we're in our addictions like that, we will make some horrible, horrible choices. But, like, from now on, look at this. We can all, like, look, we are changing, though, today. And that's the thing. Like, I always try to keep my channel and keep what I talk about and bring us over on into the other side. So we were just talking about that stuff that's real sad. I'm going to bring you guys over to the other side. You know, today I can make an appointment with my doctor, and I'm going to get checked and get help for my hepatitis C. You know, today I have my son, and I am like the bomb mom. I mean, like, we do everything together, and he's like my everything, you know. I would do anything for my son, and I'm not the way I used to be. Today I have a husband who loves me and trusts me, and we have an amazing relationship, and we're working towards getting our own home, you know. And so is that in Canada, Miss 519? Windsor, Ontario? Is that in Canada? And that's all because I stopped. I got help. You know what I mean? And you guys know, like, I'm on Suboxone. I'm tapering. Next month, I'm going to go to the doctor and go down 2 more milligrams, and I'm going to make a special video documenting that with you guys. You know, and we'll all be able to, you guys will be able to see how I take that, you know, 1 step down, 1 step down, 1 step down. And because I want to show you guys, like, hey, I can do it. I know, doesn't it, girl? And here's the thing, like, because for so long we were going in there and we're trying to, like, get over, you know? The latest taper, I'm actually doing really good. Like, I haven't taken any extra, which is a miracle, because a lot of the times when I was on my medication, like for the last couple of years, I would overtake the medication, or I would take a couple more, you know, milligrams than what I needed. But listen, I have literally been taking maybe like 8.5 to 9 milligrams, and I'm allotted 10 milligrams. So next month we'll go down to 8, and then in 2 more months I'll go down to 6, and then 2 more months I'll go down to 4. So it's a long taper, you guys, and it's real slow. Okay. So we're just going to take it one day at a time. Thanks, Brian. Yeah, I'm just going to go super slow. And, you guys, it's so distracting when people come on and comment stupid shit. I try not to let it, like, it doesn't bother me. Like, it's not, I don't get mad. But it's like, I'll start reading the comments, and you guys know I'm reading them. And it's just like, dude, come on. Like, this is a damn recovery channel. Like, what do you want? Okay, go bother someone else. It's like, listen, you guys, I'm a drug addict. I've never found free dope on the ground in my entire life. So, Anthony, I know you're full of shit. Oh, Bill, guess what? But guess what? Guess what? You guys, I'm going tomorrow to sign up and get my gym membership. Guess what? And you guys are going to go with me, and we are going to do the elliptical, and I'm going to video camera it so that way y'all can see my ass doing the exercises. Because listen, I was talking to Neil today, and we were talking in the way of the car to go look at this house, and I was like, man, I just want to lose this weight. And Neil was like, you're going to have to change your whole schedule. And he was like, you got to stop coming home when you get off work. So go into work, take Neil to school, do your job, right? And then go to the gym. Okay? And stay at the gym for 2 hours, an hour and a half, and do your workout. Then come home and take a shower and go get Nate. So that way I'm not just like coming home, because this is what happens, you guys. Straight up. I get off work, I come home, and I'm in chill mode. You know what I'm saying? I get all my chores done. I get the laundry done. I do the dishes. I vacuum. You know, my mom chores. And then I'm in chill mode. So it's like, I've got to add that exercise into my day. At least 1 or 2 hours a day, right? What's the title mean? We were talking about this lady who just got sentenced to 51 years for trafficking her daughter for heroin, trading her daughter for heroin. So that's what I'm going to do, and I'm super excited. So I want you guys to, you know, cheer me on, be excited, because listen, you guys, this is a huge step in the right direction for me. You know, I've really been battling with my weight for the last 3 years. I let my weight get out of control, you know. I let my weight get out of control, and it was because, you know, when I got sober, you guys, I stopped focusing on, you know, staying on track and staying small, you know, because when I was in active addiction, I would just eat, you know. That's what's up. I can't wait. I'm super excited, Gunny. Like, you guys, I got to start like taking care of my body and like wanting better for me, you know? And I've got the recovery part going on. So we're going smooth on that, right? Now, if I can just get my body in shape, can you guys imagine? Y'all aren't going to know how to act. I'm just telling you right now, y'all are not going to know how to act because I'm going to be fine as a glass of wine. Some days are rough, but I'm doing it. Keep pushing forward. Yeah, and listen, miss, I am literally, like, my doctor and I, because I'm not doing it alone. I'm tapering, like, with my doctor super duper slow. And the way that he explained it to me is that the slower we go down 2 milligrams every 3rd month, okay? And then once we get down to, like, 2 milligrams, then we'll go down to 1. Then we'll go down to 0.5. So we will just keep on going slowly but surely, you know. That's going to help out a lot. You will get. I know, Bill. And so that's the thing. Like when I used to keep my weight up, like I used to be really in shape before I got like, okay, let's see. I got out of prison, right? And I had gained a bunch of weight when I was in prison. And so when I got out, I started like really hitting, like working out, running, like just, I lost 60 pounds. Like I looked, dude, y'all don't even know. Like, I'm going to show y'all pictures one day. I'm going to have to get some pictures. And I was just on top of my world. Like, I was fit. I was in shape. I was tanned. I was looking good. And then I started really, like, relapsing and getting bad in my addiction. And then I dropped a whole bunch more weight. And it was just, like, an unhealthy skinny, you know? It wasn't good. But anyways, I just wanted to pop on and chat with you guys before I go to bed. Really, all they fed us there was carbohydrates, so you know my ass was eating them all up. Trouble again. I only have 2 films last next 5 days. Well, 2 films last 5 days. Okay, then you know what you do? Christy, do you know what you do? You cut them, you cut one of them in 3s, and you take a little sliver, and then you cut the other one in half and take 2. One half a day. Trim and healthy. Yes, I know. I was actually watching one of my friends and she's lost like 8 pounds and you could just see it, how happy she was. She was like, now that I've done it, like, I don't want to stop. I'm feeling so good, you know? Yeah, I can play the piano by ear and so can my son, you guys. You should hear him. One day I taught him, we got on there and I played Happy Birthday and he got on there and played it by ear, like just listening to the notes. If it's possible where you live, you'll get a full body workout. That is both like hitting it and kicking it. That sounds like something I can do. My little boy would love that. It's an old piano, you guys. Look, it's just really old. It's Neil's mom's or something. I don't know. This is like their old computer room. But thanks for chatting with me, you guys. Like, I really appreciate all of y'all so much. I got a couple of emails from each one of you guys, so I emailed you guys back. Thanks, Gunny. I appreciate you, man. Thanks for coming over. Thank you to everybody that just came over recently that's new. I'm super stoked to have you guys here. So just remember, you guys, like, I try to keep the streams, like, you know, positive, and we try to uplift each other and help each other in our recovery. So that's what we're trying to do over here. So if that's something that you want to get down with, and you are welcome here on my channel anytime. If you're not a recovering addict, you can be recovering from anything, you know, childhood trauma, abuse, recovering from eating disorders, recovering from bad relationships, toxic relationships, codependency. Like, believe me, I've got so many things that I'm recovering from. Y'all are welcome here with us. Okay? All right, you guys. Hey, Chrissy, I emailed you back and sent you my number. If anybody else wants to get a hold of me, just send me an email and I'll get right back to you guys, okay? Love you, Jason. I'll talk to you tomorrow, too, okay, babe? Christy, call me tomorrow. Call me in the morning and we'll talk about what's going on, okay?